Hi, this is Mike Stevenson with NRL Consulting. Today, I want to demonstrate how to load a file into data management that has multiple data columns in it. And so you can see that the dimensionalities to the left here, including year, account, company, etc. And then you have multiple um, data columns that represent each month. All right, so let's get started by going to data management in this test application. And we go to the setup tab, and I'll assume that you have all your configurations set up. Source system is file. We're going to go ahead and create a target application now locally. And planning, the application is FinPlan. The prefix will be multi-period CapEx with a dash, and this will just identify this particular target application in the list. We're focusing on a CapEx load here. When I created this, let's hit save, but when I created this, it actually brings in all the dimensions for the application. I don't need them all, so I'm going to get rid of the ones I don't need. Go through here and just clean it up a little bit. I don't need vintage year. So location, I don't need. So we're left with 10 dimensions, and that's good. So we'll hit save. This application option load method is numeric data only, and that's fine. That's all we need for this load. So we can go on to the import format. We're going to create one. I'll call it multi-period CapEx load. The source is a file. The file type is multi-column numeric data. The target is the one we just created, actually. So it's multi-period CapEx. Comma delimited is fine. We hit save. And so now we need to set up the different source columns. So the first one is account. And we can look at the field number. Sorry. I put numbers at the top of the column, so it's field 2. Amount. Amount starts at field 10. Asset class is at 6. Asset detail is 7. Company is 3. Department is 4. Vendor is 5. And version is 9. Go ahead and save that. Now I need to go back to amount and add an expression to tell EPM Data Manager what data fields I'm talking about. So it goes from 10 to 21. So I'm going to do 10, 21. That's the start and the finish. Hit OK. And this is done now. So let's hit save. And we need to go and create a location. Go to location and add one called multi-period CapEx load. The format is the one we just created. Multi-period, not multi-year. So these can all be none. I'll just hit save. Your period mapping is fine because you're going to use the default period mapping, so that's fine. Category mapping is fine also. I have it set up. It goes from forecast to forecast. It's all good. So let's go to the workflow tab and we can create a data load rule. Before we do that, we need to set the location that we just created. So let's pick that out. This is a multi-period. And the year is FY23, so that's fine. Let's make that default just to do that. Now we can add a new rule. So let's call it multi-period cap X load again. Categories forecast, that's fine. The import format is that. The target application cube or data or plan type is the CapEx. The file is already uploaded in here, so I just need to go to the inbox, and I have multi-period CapEx test CSV. Again, make sure it's not an Excel file or it will fail. Now that I've saved it, I have to go, before I can execute, I have to go to the mapping, and let's create some mapping. In this particular cube, it's CapEx. Account has a prefix. So we do wildcard, and the prefix for account is CPX underscore with a wildcard after it. So that's that, and save it. Next, we go to asset class and add that. That is a pass through, so no problem there. Oops, I hit my cap locks. All right. Next, we have the asset detail, and there is a mapping for that one. So let's do a wildcard. This is ASID underscore. Oops, I need to have a wildcard after that. So call it detail. Save. Company. Oops, I didn't want to do all that. I hit cancel. Then go to company. And this is another pass through. Save. Then I want to go to data. That can just be left alone. Department. That is another pass through. All right. And then vendor. That's another pass through. And version. And I could have set like a stationary, like no version in the format, but I didn't do that. So that's why I'm having to do it here. All right, hit save. Now I can go back to the rule, and it should be ready to execute. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to select the import from source and to export target. And this is January through December 2023. So let's go ahead and click on run. And hit refresh until you see a little green check mark, and that's good. So let's go to the workbench and see what we've got here. This is the January load. Let's look at the data. I can see that this is 360 and this is 360. So let's check out the February value just to make sure for a spot check. Check that out. And let's scan over here. That's 420. So that's 420. So we're good to go. We've successfully loaded the data for the entire year with multi-column data fields. And that's how you do it. Thanks a lot and take care.